All right, everyone. The other day, Mozilla decided to remove Dissenter from its app store, and then Chrome followed suit almost immediately. And it's like, again, it's mysterious how that always happens. Almost like there's a third party connected with both that coordinated it behind the scenes. I wonder what groups could possibly be responsible for such a thing. Could it be groups that are related to money? Probably, but, you know, it's a conspiracy theory to suggest that there's any form of coordination behind all of the censorship that we've seen, even though it follows a very formulaic pattern time and time again, and almost beckons the fact that there has to be coordination in order for that to coincidentally continue happening. I warned about Mozilla years ago. With basically Firefox, I think at the time, was like, oh, we're going to start filtering, like, you know, the search built in there. We're going to start, filtering fake news and basically algorithmically manipulating things. And at the time, it was funny because when they announced it, I weighed in on it, and at the time it was being linked with Soros, which is semi-true, but not fully. And they actually responded. They're like, well, no, George Soros didn't do this. You know, we're doing this to try to, like, I don't know, clean up news results because feels basically. And at the time I thought it was funny because, okay, so you're saying you do intend to manipulate search results, but it wasn't George Soros that gave you the idea. It was just an ancillary group of Soros. Open Society Foundation is helping to fund you, but, you know, I shouldn't look too much into that because for some reason that's also a conspiracy theory, even if it's 100% true. So I warned about Mozilla because at the time it was like, well, they're going to join the rest of these tech firms in being censorious and wrong. Dissenter, I don't understand what the stick up people's ass is with regards to Gab and Dissenter and alt tech in general. Like, it's almost surreal to see people who know so little about the situation and yet weighing in on it, number one. And number two, who are they're just so bland and cloying and politically correct and stupid. They don't even remember how, like, great the web was like 5 years ago before we had really any censorship on it. Wasn't it a more exciting place? Wasn't there a lot more cool shit on it? Yeah, that means sometimes something is going to be problematic. Porn got put on YouTube or something like that. Who fucking cares? People dealt with it themselves. We have flagging functions and the basic TOS that worked well for a fucking decade and were never a problem before. All of a sudden, advertisers got involved and now things were a problem. And they've exported this basic formulaic principle to brick and mortar businesses too. They've done it to, like, with Dick's Sporting Goods, trying to get them to eliminate gun sales and stuff. Or Walmart, trying to get them to do the same. Or to the banking industry, to try to get them to stop loaning money to, or giving cards out to, or working with, even maintaining basic checking accounts for people who have a reputation for being edgy or something. Like, I think that's the worst is you know, fiscal attack. That's definitely a step above and beyond even the regular deplatforming that we see. The fact, though, that they would ban, I mean, let's put it this way. If you get banned off of a few of the main app stores, your app basically doesn't exist. Now, does this mean that people won't be able to obtain it at all? I'm pretty sure they still will. It just won't be available on the store and by default will be, like, disabled. I'm sure that there are workarounds, but at this point, like, why would you want to use, like, Firefox or something? Use Opera, dude. Opera's way better. I've started using Opera more. Like Pale Moon is what I use for basic applications, but some things, especially like for streaming, I have no choice but to use Opera. Pale Moon is more stripped down and can't really function with it. Some people have said Waterfox and some of these others, but I mean, those are Mozilla based. I mean, they're basically taken from the same framework. Mozilla was always that company is like, you know, years ago, like 2007, when I sort of made the switch from Internet Explorer. Yes, initially I used that. It was very primitive, and then I found Firefox and realized how wonderful it was. Mozilla used to be like, oh, we got to stand against SOPO, we got to stand against PIPO, we got to stand against ACTA, call your congressman, do this, do that, we must protect a free and open internet, we must protect the free flow of information. But then they banned Dissenter. And it's like, again, they always have the same basic thought in mind, I think, which is, oh, well, it's just a little bit of censorship. There are extenuating circumstances. They make up a bunch of excuses as to why they have to do it. Well, there's so much edgy stuff on Dissenter. It's so horrible. No, what it's really about is, I'm sure, a bunch of your sponsors and advertisers contacted you and said, look, we are going to withdraw our money if you don't take this app store down. And Mozilla probably at first said, well, you know, we don't really want to do that. We're going to get in trouble and stuff. Don't worry, we'll give you more money. It's all about the money, dude. That's all that any of this shit is about. Dissenter is a grave threat to some of these sites that want to close all the comments on the internet and prevent, you know, commenting function from even really existing. Hell, they want to go after YouTube's commenting function. The company has openly spoken about it at the higher management level. So yeah, Dissenter is a great thing. Not having used it so much, but I like Gab. I've certainly got an account there. It's been growing swiftly. It's very visibly growing at this point. Dissenter has caused all sorts of waves. The only silver lining to this is, of course, now thousands of people who never heard of it before have heard of it because this is being spoken of in like the tech news articles. They've been living under a rock. They didn't know about Dissenter before. All of a sudden they do. Of course, if they didn't know about Dissenter, they probably shouldn't be using it because definitely the edgy stuff will drive them off. I think it's a great service. Yeah, I mean, a lot of sites have started removing the basic native commenting functionality. Something has to compensate for that. When you've got like Discuss will ban people's websites too and stop servicing them at the drop of a hat, and all of these other plugins and shit that people use. The internet is being strangulated. Dissenter is one part of a mallet fucking trying to break through that wall. I think it's great. Mozilla. I warned you about Mozilla, and a lot of people didn't take it seriously, so yeah, maybe they should have. That's about all. Peace out.